Trip blunt lit, I've been killing you hoes.
Okay.
Don't stop my rock while the flow. Bite down till they dead and not wildin' no more.
Let's go.
Till they dead and not lying no more. I'm the nigga from the coal, I'm a mountain lion for show. It's bold.
What is going down, world? Welcome to the 40-year-old FUQ Boyz podcast. I go by the name Black Pegasus, Black Pepper Sauce, the last snare bender, and I have special guests in the building. I have Vetlyfe. Why don't y'all introduce yourselves?
Big Vetlyfe, what up? I'm TiVo. This Diz. Together we are
Vetlyfe.
Vetlyfe.
Sir.
Let's go.
Yeah.
One of my favorite hip-hop groups from Colorado, and it's going down, you guys. Now, I was just playing a clip of their joint 92, but I just wanted to kind of let you guys see what's going on. But we're about to do a dope interview. I'm going to have them jump on here and perform or spit some bars a little bit, and we're going to go in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Don't forget to check us out. We just did a reaction to that new J-Hope featuring J. Cole, so that's on the channel.
Yep.
Also, we got a dope Harry Mack reaction to Gorilla Bars 32. So you guys mess with Vetlyfe. Check them out. It's Vetlyfe.
All one word.
Yeah. And let's get things started. Before we start, don't forget to like, share, and comment on all the content. But if you're really rocking with the vibe, subscribe to the channel. Trying to get 100,000 subs before the end of the year. Can't do it without y'all.
Yeah.
Without further ado, let's go. 40-year-old
What? Boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. 40-year-old
What?
boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
40-year-old FUQ Boyz podcast. Malt liquor for your ears. 40.
All right, you guys. So we're going to vibe out with Vetlyfe right now. I like to welcome them to the show. Actually, back. We did a reaction with them that we're kind of celebrating, man. We're almost at 120,000 views on that reaction.
Nice.
So that's
Appreciate
super dope. So it's dope to have you guys back
Fuck yeah.
and now kind of get into the into your careers and all that stuff. So
yeah.
Let's get it popping, man. Before, you know what? Typically, I would just jump right into the interview, start asking you guys some questions, but I like to keep the show a little action-packed. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is hit this platform and do some rapping. You know what I'm saying? Let people hear what you have. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to play this beat. I'm going to let you guys bar out over it, and then we'll start the interview. Then we'll end with one last beat. So we got a little action, a little, art mixed in with the actual conversation and interview. So
Let's get it.
Yeah, man. If you guys are ready, y'all ready to do this? Let me get my headphones. I want to hear this. Hear what y'all got, man. The youngins, man.
Gang.
They ain't not young, but they're younger than my old ass.
We are the 30-year-old buffalo.
Hey.
There you go.
Let's go.
Yeah,
All right.
let's get it.
All right, here we go. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's see what you guys got. Let's go. This is Vetlyfe, you guys.
Gang.
Yeah. Hey, Vetlyfe. Gang, what up? Hey, check. Let's go. Hey, I'm back in rare form. The shit I spit you couldn't bear the storm with. I'm about to swarm in with my brother that I perform with. I've been killing stages and getting faded, but that's the norm when you've been writing verses that could put you somewhere on the Forbes list. Check it. I got the method, mix the herbal with the essence. It's not a question, I'm the type to count my blessings. And still, they got me stressing, got me feeling like I'm flexing. I'm focused, I'll never sweat it, only worry about progression. Yeah, so the fuck is these niggas talking about? I can chalk them out with these writtens, or I can sock them out. I can pull the pistol and tell them who's really popping now. Or better yet, I get the key to the city and lock them out. Cause the options I have will never end. A mile long list of these niggas I'm rapping better than. My city full of vultures who never knew how to represent. I do it for the culture, it's nothing less for the veterans. It's Vo. Hey, who you came to see? Vetlyfe. Hey, who you came to see? Vetlyfe. Yeah. Hey, who you came to see? Vetlyfe. Hey, we the illest team.
Don't even need an introduction, I be bustin'. From nothing to nothing, we turning up, it's time to function. It's that shit you should be bumping, make some room, the vet is coming in. We jump on beats to punish them, these other niggas mumbling. Now let me exercise my paint while spitting simple sentences, but it really ain't for no simpletons. When I kick my shit, it's nitroglycerin, I'm spitting it just how I live. The devil trying to test me every day, but I ain't giving in. Unlock potential with pencils is what I recommend. I know that progress a process, so I ain't stopping yet. These niggas slacking on the job, I do the opposite. I'm killing everybody on the bottom like a Loch Ness. Yeah, it ain't never been nothing to a vet. Perfect my craft with passion, won't relax until I see a check. Never will I stop, I got plenty to cop for Jaden lads. Gotta protect your neck, we won't tolerate disrespect, never.
Nah. Hey, who you came to see? Vetlyfe. Hey, hey, who you came to see? Vetlyfe. Hey, hey, who you came to see? Vetlyfe. Hey, we the 30 FU keys, baby.
Hey, let's go. What's up? What's up?
Gang, gang. Just a small taste. Just a small taste.
Welcome to the show. Vetlyfe has arrived, y'all.
Thank
We
you.
are here.
City boy.
Let's
Yeah,
freaking
yeah.
go, man. So,
get it.
all right, let's go down the rabbit hole. Where are you guys from, man?
We from here, man.
Born and raised, baby. Born
Both?
and raised.
Yeah, I wasn't born here. I was born in Nebraska. My mom was military, but we came back here when I was like 3 and
Okay.
been here ever since. So
Do you have any ties to the military?
Yeah, my dad was in the military. He got his culinary degree while he was in there. But that's about it. What's funny is that he's from Nebraska. My mom's from Nebraska. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I'm born and raised. I've been here my whole life. Same with my kids, native.
So I was born in Germany on an Air Force base, but my pops retired here. But it's like funny because this is such a huge military town. Almost all of us are tied in by the military.
Right.
And what I highlight this on the channel sometimes, but I feel like people kind of sleep. So this concept of America being the melting pot, that's what I always thought.
Right.
And then I realized I had a different vision because the military, we all actually live together. Black, white, Asian,
Yeah,
Latino,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because the way, but like when I go into like the cities, I was like, oh, there's like Harlem, there's like Chinatown, there's little, you know what I'm saying? Like
Little Italy and shit like that.
So
Yeah.
we're kind of separated in the cities, but in the military, we're really not. And so I feel like I've always had a different view of America. That's how I always viewed it. So it's kind of interesting when all of us have ties to the military.
Yeah.
That's some facet.
And it's crazy too, because my mom's, she actually grew up here, and my dad did too. And then, she just happened to go over there, and then she got stationed back, so it's it was cool. So all the fam was already here in place. So but yeah, we've been out here, all our lives basically. We met when we met like 12, somewhere around
Yeah, it was
that
like
move.
6th, 7th grade
It
around
was
there.
like 7th grade, yeah.
Oh,
So, shout out Skrilla. We had a mutual friend, our brother, and we just came together and clicked
So
together.
y'all known each other forever.
Yeah,
Dude,
like 20 years, something.
It's crazy because I have some boys like that, but they all moved.
Yeah.
So it's like weird. Like my homie Don that I do the podcast with.
Yeah, we
we're
met
kinda-
Don. We met
we're-
Don last time, yeah.
We're like y'all because I started like freestyling stuff with him when I was 17.
Okay.
But like I got boys that we were riding when we were like 10.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
like, oh, I moved to Florida type stuff. You know what I mean? So, and being in a military town, a lot of people just bounce because they're like, I gotta
Absolutely.
get away
That's
from
just
the
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then you're so used to traveling when you're in the military.
facts. So I mean, we've definitely been blessed in that facet of like staying here and being able to pursue this shit together.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So
That's dope.
it's been cool.
So, let me see. When did you guys start? Actually, where do I want to go with this? When did you guys start rhyming? Like, when did you guys? Okay, who's like, what first exposed each of you to hip hop?
Go ahead, Dizzle.
As far as like wanting to rap,
Well, what did you get exposed to? What was the first hip hop memory? You're like, yo, this is tight.
man. So it's with me. It's always like it's a huge Tech 9 thing with me, man. Like surprise, because I'm a native from Colorado and stuff.
Right.
But I just always remember. Once again, our brother, our mutual friend that we had together, like I met him in kindergarten, and like I would mob around with him and his parents, and they would always be playing this one person, and I'm like, I don't know who this is, but this shit is tight. You know what I'm saying? And it was Angelic and Absolute Power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're from Sacktown, so they was, they put us on to that
Yeah.
shit. We've been bumped. The first, not to derail the conversation, but just in terms of Tech, first time I heard Tech was in 04. I had Absolute Power. I got a burned copy of that motherfucker. Was like, Jesus, he's killing. But in terms of just like first overall exposure to hip hop, I remember fucking bumping that Tupac Greatest Hits, you know. So I had to have been around 7, 8, something like that, and just always going to Hail Mary first. You know what I mean? That was my shit. Like that. Everybody know disc 2 is better than disc 1 on Tupac Greatest Hits, and we can fight about it. But that's like I remember like 'cause we had the big stereo, and stuff like that. So I remember like when my parents was gone, I'm turning that bitch up, bumping that and just that Machiavelli, Illuminati, and that shit just so that's definitely like some of my earliest memories with hip hop for sure.
That's crazy because I think of what exposed me to hip hop, and it was honestly like Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer.
Right.
That's what was on the radio. So when I was in Germany, that was on the radio, and you only had like one radio station, one television
So
station.
everybody's hearing and seeing that.
So it's kind of interesting. But the stuff that kind of set me off, honestly, some of the things that I always remember is like the first time I heard NWA and Wu-Tang Clan. It like set it off.
Well, the timing too, though. You know what I'm saying? Because like they were talking big shit during all that was going on too. So it's like, not only is it hard hitting, it's relevant, and they're saying exactly what they want too. Like I can only imagine like, well, not being alive because I was alive, but like being old enough to understand exactly what's going on when like the Rodney King shit was going on and all that stuff. Like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
So that's tight. So now you guys get exposed to hip hop. You're like, yo, this is dope. What got you into rhyming? Like, when was the first time that you guys can remember rhyming, either writing something or even freestyling with friends? When did this start to take place in your life?
Oh man, I was a kid. I was probably like the first time I wrote something like a constructed verse.
Yeah.
I was probably like 6. You know what I'm saying? Like I was probably like 6, 7 years old, and I remember it was in a yellow notebook, and I referenced this in one of our tracks. Like it was in a yellow notebook, and I thought it was so tight. Like I'm like it's so corny to think about.
Wide rule,
yeah, that was the shit. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like so. You know, I was a young cat, like maybe 6, maybe 7 years old. I wrote it, and I thought I was the shit. And you know, looking back on it, obviously it's young minded or whatever, but like dissecting it, it's like it's not bad. You could definitely see this going somewhere. 31-year-old me thinking about the 6-year-old me writing that verse, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I've always kind of had this thing with music, and like I've always been able to like figure out cadences and being able to count bars subconsciously without knowing as a kid and stuff. But I don't know, it just, the older I got, the more serious I got, I guess, but.
So as early as 6 years old.
Yeah.
That's insane. Because I didn't even get into it till I was like, probably like 13, 14-ish.
Yeah.
What about you, Tef?
Shit. First time I wrote something was probably around 4th grade. But it was maybe a few lines here, a few lines there.
Yeah.
I used to always freestyle for fun, and shit like that. But 4th grade, first time I wrote some stuff, but I didn't record my first track until I was around 17. So it was a later transition for me in terms of like actually starting to record.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started writing, started writing for real, like around 16, that's when I was like, all right, I gotta, do this, do that. And, it just kind of evolved into what it is. Like before we was together, he was rapping already. He was already putting stuff out, the MySpace days and stuff like that. And I had some stuff out there too, but he was like, when we were in middle school, they had whole rap beefs and shit with niggas at Sierra. Shout out Dark Corner. I don't know where them fools is at, but they got that smoke from my boys, from my brothers now. But, so it, he definitely had his feet wet in like the recording aspect and kind of doing that type of a number before me for sure.
That's tight. You guys were in a group. How many were in the group? Was it 4 or 5 total?
Started out 5 deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now with everyone in the group, how did you guys know each other? Because obviously you guys stuck together because you guys were the tightest, would you say?
Yeah.
And so did you guust start out as you two and then bring them in?
Yeah. Can I go down the rabbit hole real quick?
For that.
It's not even a rabbit hole, but it's to explain it all. Like I was saying, when he was rapping in middle school, it was with one of the other members, Wes Ellis, who was also like our engineer.
Yeah.
And then the other two is just the bros, Nick and Demo. But we had started Vetlyfe as just like our clique before we was deciding to rap under that.
Yeah.
And then when we finally was like, all right, let's start rapping. But the only person we knew with the studio was Wes. So we were like, all right, let's link up with him, get in the studio, da-da-da-da. And then we slowly, it wasn't even like a conversation. It's just like out of nowhere, everybody's just like Vetlyfe this, Vetlyfe that. So we just started a group and ran with it. But so we had all been boys already and went to school like together and stuff like that. And then so we just collectively came together because everybody was picking up steam at that point again. Everybody had like, they had stopped rapping for a minute, and then everybody was like, all right, let's pick it back up. And it just kind of happened at the same time. So we kind of formed this group and then hit the ground running. Dropped a couple mixtapes and an album and stuff like that.
Did a couple shows,
then got tapped in with you and started doing shows because I mean, we was doing shows with you when we had 5 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we did one with 5, but we was primarily a 4-man group was the main thing. Like
that's how I got introduced to you guys originally, was with your group. And I remember that album because I liked the album, but what surprised me, actually I more than liked the album. It was actually really good. But what surprised me was my my brother-in-law. So my wife's brother, one time I was at their crib and I was in the basement. I was like, oh, he had a Vetlyfe CD because he would come to the shows.
Shit.
Okay.
And he was like a big fan of your guys. And I forgot this song was the song you guys would always do last. And I was just like, yo, that's tight. That's
it was
when
probably Bounce.
Yeah.
Bop that, bop that, bop that, bop that, bop. Bounce. Yeah.
Bounce,
Yeah.
bro.
And but what tripped me out about it was that I was like, yo, I already knew you guys had something from listening to you guys, but when I see other people latch onto it, I was like, oh, there's something there. It's not just me being biased or whatever, or just my taste. Like I'm seeing other people gravitate to it. And I mean, shit, how long have I been working with you guys? 10 years or more? Like it's
plus.
Yeah. So, and you guys are still at it, active, have a pretty solid base.
Yeah.
Now I know after having a group of multiple people, you might be able to reach more people. So sometimes as a duo, how do you feel it is trying to reach an audience? Because I know the ticket sale grind. I've done that, you know, and all that stuff. How is it trying to reach people as a duo? Do you think it was better were there pros and cons to having a group, or is it better being a duo? Like without obvious casting salt, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like the honest, like how do you guys feel? Because I started in a group. I was in a 2-man group with Don.
Yeah.
But then we added a DJ and another MC, and here I am. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's just life. It's a progress.
To me, personally, it's literally just more control, more responsibility. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Like, as far as like even like ticket sales, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has half, I have half. You know what I'm saying? We can be completely transparent with just us two. You know what I'm saying? And like, and it's easy to it's easy to communicate with more than 2 people, but it's the easiest to just have to communicate with just one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if we have 4 group members, we got 100 tickets. We got 100 tickets to count for. We got 4 different heads, 4 different people to tap in with. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's just tickets. Yeah,
It's honestly easier.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
saying?
It's honestly easier, and like to keep it a whole load of laundry, we're not doing much more of the work than we were already doing before.
Yeah,
right.
And that's no shade. That's just facts and what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it just, the vision has been the same.
Yeah.
The vision has been to record this music, put it the fuck out there, get on stage, show these people what we got, and get the fuck up out of here. You know, start feeding our family up off of this. Everybody's end game goal, you know. But with other people, there's too many chefs in the kitchen at a certain point, you know, like, and you can't expect everybody to be on the same page. We used to always use the analogy that we always had one flat tire. Like it was always like 3 people on the same page and one person giving feedback. And so we always were like, we need 4. We need this bitch fully rolling to go where we need to go. You know what I mean? So we don't need someone, and it's hard. So, you know, it just transitioned into what we want to do. But as soon as it went to the 2-man group, we fucking hit the ground running. Like
that was when we did. My fault, bro.
You good?
That was when we were doing 2 songs a month. So we had dropped 24 tracks via Vetlyfe just
during
us.
COVID. During fucking COVID,
and dropped an album with Chain Store at the time. So we dropped, was it 36 songs that year? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
we was here like every fucking week. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we just started working, and now we've just been it's been nice because we had to rebuild the catalog, rebuild the buzz, rebuild the foundation, and now it's just more solid now because we were always on the same page regardless. So now it's just like,
and we can just stamp it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
So you said something in there. You said the end goal, and I think that is the end goal for a lot of people. Utilize your art to feed your family.
Facts.
Now I think it's interesting because all of us are dads here, but like it's crazy because I'm the 40-year-old dude, but you guys have more experience as being dads than I do.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got the youngest.
So what's going on? How many kids do you guys have? What are their ages? What we got going on over here?
Go ahead, Dizzle.
Man, so as of today, I have a 14-year-old, man.
Happy birthday, Jade.
Yeah, my
Congrats.
oldest, my girl Jade is 14, man. You can only imagine how that is. And then my youngest, she's 11. So I have 2 girls. Jade is my oldest, and she's literally probably the same height as me.
I was about to say, keep doing this because she's literally that tall.
You know what I'm saying? And then Alexa, that's my youngest, my 11-year-old, and you know what I'm saying? And she's on her way. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, so. So, but it's an experience, man. I had my first. I had just turned 17 that January, and then Jade was born that March. So I had just turned 17 when I had my first. Yeah. And then I was 19 when I had my second one. So, and then after that, I was like, you know what, 2 girls, I'm good.
Yeah, I feel that.
Facts. Yeah, I got I got 2 myself. My daughter Evelyn, she'll be 10 next month in April. That's blowing my mind. And then my son Jay, he's like 7.5. He'll be 8 in September. So, same situation. I didn't have my kids as young as he did, obviously, but knocked my 2 out of the way, and it was good to go. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's definitely cool. It's cool as fuck being a rap dad. You know what I mean? Because they like our stuff. They listen to our shit. They see us. I think the most important part is they see us pursuing our passion. Like we also obviously have day jobs and shit like that. So they see us going to work and doing this and taking care of the normal stuff you got to in the real world, but also even at 30 years old we still pursuing our passion and still enjoying it and being and we're blessed to be able to do that. You know what I mean? So we're just fucking a couple steps away from just everything changing to where it's like everything we've been talking about is now going to be on the table, and we don't got to go to work the 9 to 5 anymore. And they're going to see that shit. They're ready for it, because we communicate well, and let them know what's up. Like, we rap, but we're not. But they think we're fucking famous, what I mean? They see us on TV, and they're like, oh, and they see us doing shows. I'm showing them videos from last night, and they're like, oh my God, all these people came here to see you. And I'm like, they didn't, but they happen to see us, and it shows like that they, how we can gravitate towards people and latch on. So I think it's special that they see us like actually not just burying that dream and just going to the 9 to 5 just because that's what is expected of us.
Yeah. Now I had a question for both of you guys, and if you don't want to answer it, you don't have to. It's kind of personal, but not really. I think I know the answer, but I still am going to ask it for the viewers.
Yeah.
Are you guys still with the mother of your children?
I am. I'm married to the mother of my kids.
Okay.
So yeah, I am.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm not. Like I said, man, I had my kids young, so there's no definitive answer as to like, oh, it's your fault or my fault. It was just kind of like we were young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people grow and people change, and it was just kind of one of those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, understood.
So, everything's all good in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? The kids are straight and taken care of. But we were just young.
So I was just curious, but what I wanted to highlight is like, I feel like a lot of times there's flack because they'll say fathers aren't in the household. And I know you guys are 2 good brothers who are actually looking after your kids and doing the right thing. And I'm one of those people as well. And I feel like sometimes that doesn't get highlighted enough. Now, I don't want to do the whole race thing like, oh, we're good black dads. Because no, we're good
dads,
fathers.
period.
You know what I'm saying? But I think there's certain things in culture that if we highlighted more and was like, yo, because I think that gets left out. And I was reading a statistic where it was saying, and this is bananas, you guys. So the majority of single parent households are mothers. It's like 80%. But the statistics show that children are better off in a single parent household with their dad. The outcomes are so much better. And I couldn't believe that because, our system will tell us something else. Yeah. But there's something about the father's guidance where we're not as lenient. Like sometimes we have to put the foot down. And the other thing is like sometimes women, I don't want to go on a women tangent because it's not like there's nothing, but we visualize things differently. Yeah. And I think the difference between men being logical, women being a little more emotional, I think there's just this balance that you have to do when you're raising kids. Yeah. And I was just curious, but I wanted to highlight that you guys are good dads because it's like, I know you're dope rappers. I know you guys are dope people, but you're dope dads. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's something that needs to be highlighted because people, I don't know, curating society, which is raising children, is the most important thing that can be done.
Absolutely.
So it's one of those things. And then even I'd be tripping out because, like I said, you guys have more experience than me. Yeah. And it's very interesting to see. But I thought that was a cool story because I do see a lot of interviews, but I get curious about behind the scenes. Right. How are people navigating? And then like even with you, like you being married, like I think the statistic is most, I guess, American households, American marriages typically last 5 to 8 years.
I'm in that window. I think we just hit 5 years. You
Yeah.
know what I
We-
mean?
we
So
ju- yeah, we
let me
just
hold my breath for
flipped
3
the
more
hourglass
years.
over.
You know what I mean? Baby, I'm sorry. Like, I love you still. You know, but nah, yeah, no. And like, it is worth pointing out, like you said, even being how you are as a father speaks volumes about your character. You know what I mean? Especially because I mean, we all have dads, right? And our dads have done things that we don't like, and our dads do stuff that we do like, and you take and you pick and you choose and all that. But it very much is worth pointing out as well that like you said, not to make it a race thing, but like we are painted in a different light. So like when you do see some good brothers doing what you're supposed to do,
just
but
what
it's not
everyone's supposed to do.
Yeah, and
Literally.
it's like I know, like my wife always says. Like dads get hella praise for just doing the bare minimum, and she doesn't say it like hating or anything, but she's like, it's a trip because like, oh, you like with me, I remember when my daughter was born and people used to be amazed that I would change her diaper as frequently as I did. Like it's not even up for debate. She needs to get this dirty diaper off of her. Like I'm sitting here doing nothing. Let me help out, type shit. But like you almost get praised for doing what you're supposed to do. Or like, oh, I used to take when my kids were in public school, they're homeschooled now, but like when they were in public school, I used to take them to school and drop them off and pick them up every day. And they were like, oh my God, like you're such a good dad, you're doing it. And I'm like, yeah, like I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate it, but like this is what I'm supposed to do. Like I chose to have these kids, so like it's my job to be an involved parent with them, So
What made you guys lean to homeschool?
So like that was always the plan because we know this rap shit gonna take off at some point, and my wife wants to be able to come when she wants to when we go to different cities and shit like that. So we always knew at some point we were gonna have to homeschool, but then COVID forced our hand, and then when they decided, so March hits, all the kids come home, my wife is homeschooling and like working from home, doing all that shit, and then they're saying, all right, kids are going back to school with masks and distance and all that. We're sending our kids to school for socialization, so like I'm not worried about the education factor. We're almost having to unlearn what they're teaching you anyway. Yeah. So when they said they were going to have to go back and my daughter's not going to be able to walk up and high five her friend or hug her or whatever, like there's no point in that. So like we were just like, all right, so we made the decision. My wife quit her job. She dedicated herself to homeschooling. We've done like 2.5 years now. It's been phenomenal. Like that's awesome. Love it. They got their own little structure and stuff, so they love that. But like but my wife never gets like if I was homeschooling them, I would be man of the year. You know what I mean? And my wife they're just like, oh, okay. They're like, they just ask my wife, like, you sure they're like not going to turn out weird? Like, there's that aesthetic that homeschool kids. Like, I'm like, you think we just trapped them in the house or some shit?
Right.
Like, no, they have family and friends and all that,
And
but
I was homeschooled.
there you go.
Very normal.
You, no, I'm just kidding. Nah, yeah.
Well,
No, yeah.
it's interesting because a lot of the fundamentals I got, you said a lot of stuff there that I want to touch on because there's one thing that I hold dear, because sometimes I lean into like the red pill space. Some people will call it the manosphere, but not all the way. Some of the Andrew Tate stuff,
Right.
And stuff like that. I hear it and I'm like, I gravitate to it. I'm like, yo, that's some real stuff, like masculinity, male excellence, being the best you can. But one of the things, and I'm not saying they got this wrong, I don't know where they got it wrong, but what I'm saying is like, if you travel down that road, the fundamental principle that you should pick up from that concept is extreme accountability. Yes. Taking extreme accountability. And one thing I don't feel like as a society we take extreme, because, if you want traditional roles, like your wife to be at home and do all these things, I think one of the things we lost along the way as men is we didn't appreciate the women at maybe the level we should have for curating society. We didn't realize how important it was. And because of that, the feminist movement came. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to go crazy on that on YouTube because I'm still riding out a strike. I'm on probation right now.
Free the gang, you know what I'm saying?
But what I will say, it's even though it's not like, there's some interesting stuff when you start diving down the stats and literature of when the household got separated. And so we don't have to get into deep depth of that. I just say, as a man taking extreme accountability, I do realize that, with the concept of, oh, well, that's what a mom is supposed to do. Yeah. Cool. That's what a man is supposed to do. Cool. However, it's very important curating the next generation. And so like I'm watching society, and you can look at society yourself. I don't have to say it for YouTube, and you can see where society is going. And these teachers are raising our kids.
Yeah.
These daycare people are raising our kids.
Yeah.
And this is where society is trending to go to.
Yeah.
Do you think society is going to the place it should be? And you got to start asking your question. And then I start asking myself, well, wow, how important was it, for women to help curate society? What, you start saying, when they start putting this information that career is more important than family, your passion for your career is more important than the fulfillment of family, and then you start seeing where society's going, you can sit back and ask the question, like, are we going in the right direction? Now, I have my own answer to that, but to me, it's super obvious. But when you start traveling down some of these YouTube rabbit holes, that's one of the things I feel like, if I got in a room with some of these guys, I would be like, yo, I think that one of the things we missed was the priceless. It's priceless. You cannot put a price on women curating society, like raising our children and helping them have moral principles and have a foundation. And because of that, I'm like, wow, this is where we're at now. Like now we're both competing for economic status, when the thing that's literally you can't put a value to your child just being a good person.
Right. And having present parents and having,
they don't teach you how to build character in school. They don't teach you to be confident in school. They don't teach you to properly handle your emotions in school. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it should be led by example from your parents, But I absolutely agree, women are invaluable. It goes without saying, regardless of you even take birth out of the scenario, just like that, the love that they put out there, you have a wife, you have a mother, how the way women love is completely different, than what we do. But like, you go to show how when that focus of when they're being kind of force fed, like, hey, you need to do for you, which I'm all for women getting theirs. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? It goes without saying, but like it's almost to the point where certain women in certain movements have pushed that focus away from like you can do both. That's my whole thing, is like you can have a career and have passion outside of for yourself as an individual and still be a dope parent. But then, like you said, then now we got our kids in school for 8 hours a day, or they're in daycare all the time because, we don't get good maternity, healthcare here, goes, and that's even some more shit. But like, so women kind of get stuck in this like little bubble. There's like, either do you want to stay at home and like try to be obedient, but this, like you said, the society doesn't like value that anymore. Or put like in like even where we could have dropped the ball, like, like you see those like men in the 40s and 50s, like I Love Lucy time and shit like that. They're that's just what it's expected. You walk home, honey, I'm home. What's for dinner?
Dinner's
like
on the
I
table,
expect
house
a cocktail,
clean.
House spotless, and she's in the maid and she's happy to see. Like, and that's cool if that's like how it works out. But that dude should be fucking praising that woman, what I mean, for holding them down like that, because it takes a real one to do that and still be happy with herself.
Well, and it's an equal exchange, right?
Absolutely.
Provision, protection for the glue, the family glue.
The love. And it's absolutely reciprocal. But when they stopped reciprocating at some point, and then, like you said, what we've been told, because, I seen that households didn't really get, like, two-parent households didn't really get broken up until like the 80s, somewhere around that time. So it's not very far away, it's just before our lifetime. Within your lifetime, you like, that's when that focus, and especially, not to make it a race thing, but especially in the black home, that's a big, the division is huge, and that's, the system. You didn't get blue pill. You get blue pill on that one, but like, you know what I mean? It's interesting because it's all recent, so there's obviously some type of agenda at play. But as for me, I try to stay out of that. You know what I mean, and just
because if you focus on what you have, then because that's other thing. When I started getting all these strikes on YouTube, I was just like, look, I can't even talk freely about certain things.
Right.
So let me dive into things that I'm passionate about, which is music, freestyling, and stuff like that. So it still allows me a platform to speak. But some of these stuff, like, I want to have the deep discussions, and I just don't like tap dancing and not being able to say certain things. So I'm just like, But I brought some of that up specifically because I wanted to see, how does music, because I feel like it's a balancing act, it's a juggling act, having a family, trying to do this music stuff.
Okay.
So how's that juggling act, and how much does your family inspire you, support you, etc.? You know, when you're going through all this stuff.
At this point, I feel like they're essential. You know what I'm saying? Like I've written, like I said, I started writing when I was 6. Like not like seriously and consistently, but like the first time I wrote something, I was like 6.
Right.
Hadn't really experienced too much of shit. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward teenage years, a little bit more started going on, and you see the progression in the music now, dude. Like as a grown man with kids and have experienced things, it goes into the music tenfold. You know what I'm saying? That literally gives me shit to rap about. Like my bad. That's why, like when I thank God and all that good stuff, I thank God for my good days and my bad days and all that stuff, because that's feeding my craft. You know, whether I'm writing a song about how blessed I am, or if I'm writing a song about all these turmoils I've been dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So like, the trials and tribulations is inspiration for the music, having my family and their motivation for that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the end goal. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to feed the fam off this shit. Like,
Man, our fucking moms were at the concert last night.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
both
They
of
come
them.
to the concerts all the time. The fam support is real. Like, and you know, you remember starting out rapping. That's the first. Those are your first supporters. You know what I'm saying? It's your people,
and the kids are the biggest fans.
Yeah, and
kids.
they actually, like I had said before, they fuck with the shit. You know what I mean? Like, not only is like it's us, you know, so they're gonna support us, but like legitimately they see the talent that we have and enjoy you know, some of the music that we put out, and also enjoy seeing what we have. But like, if we didn't have our fam pushing for us like they are, it'd be a tougher journey, because you know, like you know, we a decade plus in this shit, you know, so it gets hard at times to be like, is this, you know, worth it, or is this what I should be doing? But then, like, how could I even explain to my babies why I'm not rapping? You know, not even like that, but it's just like, how could I explain to them that I'm not following my passion no more because what? Outside sources and shit like that. When I know, if they good and they telling me to keep doing what I'm doing, and not, you know, not seeing an issue with it, then I'm gonna always pursue this shit, you know, as long as it don't get in the way. But they're always gonna support.
And on top of that, real quick, just to tap back in with the kids being inspiration as well, they kind of keep you conscious about what you're writing and releasing too.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that next.
Yeah, content wise for sure, because like I just was talking to him about this the other night. I was like, we got to try to stop cussing so much in our hooks, not even in the songs, but in the hooks, because we're getting really good at like making these catchy hooks, but every now and again there'll be like a casual nigga in there, or like a shit, and my kids are really good at like censoring themselves, but it's like you can tell, like when there's a nice clean hook with none of that shit and it's banging, they're like they're in it, they're like, and they like being able to sing along and stuff. So it's like being conscious like that, and even, you know, even referring to women as bitches and shit like that. Like I'm bad at that, you know, and I don't do it in real life ever. I don't know why, but there's certain things in my raps that I've done that, and I kind of become more conscious about it, because it's like I have a responsibility to these people by, you know, putting this art out and trying to, I can't be like trying to walk this walk in real life, but be talking this talk on the track, you know what I mean?
You can, but you be just like everybody else.
Exactly.
Kinda.
And that's not what we're about, you know, so that's definitely, like he said, a big part, just kind of trying to hone in and think about like, what are my kids going to think when they hear this, which is also a positive tool too. Like, cause I'm like, if my kids like this shit, then I know it's like a jumper, you know what I mean? So
my fault, go ahead.
No, that was it.
Just piggybacking off of that again, like the kids, again, the biggest fans, you know, if they legitimately like something, they're not going to go show their friends because you told them. They're going to show them because they're hype about this shit.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? And then the kids, you know, that runs full circle, like with the youngsters and all these phones and all that stuff. So like, you know, being conscious with that, these kids are little pushers, you know what I mean? Like with the music. So
yeah, facts.
That's tight. So I wanted to highlight that because I won't let my daughter listen to rap, because what happens for me, and this is just right now, because she's only 4, right?
Yeah, right.
But it opens the door to like the rhythm, and there's something about rap and that programming, and I don't want to go down the Nicki Minaj, the Cardi B, the you know, Young Thug, the Lil Wayne, like it's just too much because of the programming. And I was gonna ask that question, and you guys answered it, because what I realized is when I had my daughter, I'm like, because naturally I was a battle rapper,
right?
So I'm saying things that are like, you know, like braggadocious, womenizing, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, and when you said like even saying bitches, my wife has always been like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you, know what I'm saying? But it's just hip hop, like, but it's a programming. So I'm like, de-stalling it.
I get it.
Because like even when I freestyle now, like I can freestyle without cursing for the most part, which I couldn't do that 6 months ago.
Well, you've been freestyling for a fucking year straight, you know, so now like, you know, just killing it. That practice, you know, shows, and like, that's a good point. Real quick, have you what I used to always let my kids listen to, because like I don't let them listen to just besides like we're the worst shit that they listen to in terms of like language and shit. Yeah. But like Christian rap, like Andy Mineo, and all them Lecrae. Have you?
I'll have to check in.
But like they make really
KB,
dope. They make
bro.
really dope music that just doesn't. It doesn't have like. It's not all like. Corinthians 3:16. They're not doing prayer. They're
aesthetically.
They are rapping their ass off, and they are just not cussing and like and doing the like. Andy Mineo is really dope. Like especially for kids. Really him and Wordsplay have this. He's another Christian rapper. They came together and did the thing called Magic and Bird, a project called Magic, and they're like in the big ass suits like Magic and Bird wearing the shit. But that's the cover. But that's dope. Like there's some really good like. There's a song literally on there called "I Do It for the Kids." Like and it's like the beats are filthy P. Like you hear these shits and be like, what the hell? Like, and these boys are, and it's dope ass music. Like, and like that, and they really like Toby Wigway. Have you listened to him at all?
Oh yeah. I didn't know that's how you said it. I always was like Nguyen or
the
something
N
like
is
that.
silent because he's African, but it's Toby Wigway. He's fucking super dope, and he keeps it pretty clean.
And we were playing him in the household for sure.
Yeah, Toby's
I like
dope.
him. I've heard of Lecrae. I know NF doesn't curse in his stuff. So there's a lot of people right now, and this is just like I'm down to play that stuff, and we were playing Toby in front of her. But what I'm just like I remember what I grew up listening to, and so I'm just like trying to reinstill that. Like I'm playing the Supremes, Sam Cooke, like all the soulful stuff. So they have that, and then I'll play like Journey. You know, like just classics.
Yeah, as you should keep their exposure wide. You know
and then the mom, they want to, put on like the Dance Revolution so they can have fun with the kids and stuff. So, but I try to watch out for certain songs. I'm like, nah,
I understand.
You know what I mean? But I do know that my daughter personally has changed the way. Like in 2017, I did my Robert Houston album, and I kind of cleaned it up because I was like, I want to leave a legacy because that's when we were supposed to have our son, and then we had the stillborn. But as I went into that album, that's what it was about. It's like starting to create legacy music. Absolutely. Is what I call it.
And that album was really good. You know what I mean? It was mature. You know what I mean? You could definitely hear that shit. So I can definitely see that from the outside looking in. Even after you saying that, but that's conscious parenting. What you're doing is making sure, being mindful of what you're exposing them to, and that's what the fuck it's about.
Well, I mean, they're gonna get exposed to so much stuff through the internet and stuff. It's like our guidance is really needed right now, just to try to manage, as much as we can,
because it's inevitable that they're gonna get the information, but it's just like how you digesting this information.
Facts.
We're going to get ready to wrap up. We're about 40 minutes in, but we'll do another interview because there's so much I could talk to you guys about. What is the next goal? But before, you guys, make sure you hit that like button if you're enjoying this interview with Vetlyfe. I'm going to have them spit some bars on the way out of here. Hey. But I kind of know the end goal because you guys are like, yo, let's make it with this rap stuff. Now, when you were talking about that, I thought I was thinking about myself, like that was always my end goal. And it was a grind, and then I had to pivot a little bit. I'm a concert promoter. I'm doing the YouTube thing, but I still rap. So I think it's important to highlight the pivot, but at the same time, doing things you're passionate about. Music, especially what we do, is very therapeutic.
Absolutely.
So like, what is making it for you guys? What's the definition when you have a vision board? What is making it look like on that vision board?
Making it is multiple steps, but the first step and the most important step is just the financial freedom. Like I'm not in it to be a billionaire, you know what I mean? But there's plenty of money out there to get fed off of. Like I think our next goal is just to keep getting our platform big enough. Like we've always expressed this to you before, but like we really are trying to get on tour. Like like keep it a buck. You see what we did last night. And there's people who got paid to ride around with Token and go rap after us who maybe didn't do equal levels. You know what I mean? So I think that we have to find the right person that we can benefit, like a mutual relationship. Because I know like the first time we go out there, we're probably not going to be getting paid for it. Like I'm being realistic. Like, but the exposure, like if like if you could get into the crowds that are right, like that crowd last night for Token, they came there to hear some fucking rap.
Yeah.
They weren't standing there with their hands in their pockets. They weren't sitting there
They came to
fucking
hear
just
lyrics,
like they
right.
can. And not only that, and like, you know, and they're gonna sit through everybody. But then when we come on, like it's like we the pleasant surprise. You know, it's like, oh shit, we came here to see them, but them motherfuckers tore it down. Like, and then it's like, oh, where do I find you? But you do that in multiple cities and all that. And then, you know, then the motherfucking Indiana's like, hey, you came out here with Token. Y'all burned it down. I got like $1,000. Y'all want to come out and do a show, you know, like, you know, those little baby steps. Like, I think like once we get that momentum rolling, that's going to be big for us. You know what I mean? So like, I think that first and like pivotal step is to actually get that financial freedom, which starts with just not having to have a 9-to-5. Yeah. So, you know, you only got to make, you know, $40K a year, which is only, but like, you know, if you can make $40K a year off of rap, you know, both of us, we don't have to have a 9-to-5. Like, we can pay our bills, and then it goes up from there and shit like that. So that's definitely the next step. I think is we need to put ourselves in a position to get that exposure outside of the city. You know what I mean? But just, you know, just keep the grind on, keep the music going, and put ourselves in position to be ready when that opportunity comes. You know what I mean?
I think that's the second goal. The first goal is already accomplished to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just the therapy and the music, bro. Like shit is it like. I don't know, bro. Like, I literally don't know what I would be doing or how I would be handling shit without music. Yeah. Plain and simple.
It gives you a focal point.
Yeah, the entire process. Writing, you know what I'm saying, recording, doing the shows. I find therapy in all three parts of those. You know what I'm saying? So so that, I don't know, man, that shit's just huge to me. Like, and I've had a conversation with myself too, obviously, without any complacency. I make the music for me and us, you know what I'm saying? We like the shit that we do, and it feels good to hear it and all that shit too, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I find peace in that already. So one of the big goals are already tallied off, you know what I'm saying? So like at that point, it makes it a little easier to pursue everything else, you know what I'm saying, as far as the monetary gains and shit too. Because don't get me wrong, I don't want to just be rapping and people just telling me we got good tracks and that's just it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get breaded off of this too, but like, I find peace in knowing that literally we can do therapy without a therapist type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the game is tricky, man. Like, I battle with it back and forth because some of the first tours I went on, my first tour was with DJ Abilities. Then I went out with like Potluck and RA and then a bunch of different people. But I always had to go as like a tour manager. And then I was rapping second. And what I learned from behind the scenes is now you'll have people like, let's give an example, like Chris Webby. Okay. Annoyed, Echo, all those people you see with him, those are his boys. He puts them on. But a lot of artists, like, they'll just get buy-ons. So people will pay to go on these tours. And I won't name any names. Maybe off camera I'll tell you some of the people that, like, because, like, when I was tour managing, every week I have to go get the money from the buy-on. Be like, yo, where's your money to be on this tour type of thing. So it always messed me up in the sense of, because I came from the era where people see your talent, and like DJs would break a record, not all this corporate, we're playing pay to play.
The machine and shit.
And so like people would give me like $200, $350 at the most to open, and then it went down to $250, then $150, then it's just like, you have to sell tickets. That's where we're at now. So when I started, bro, like it was like, yo, you're so talented, and we had a draw in Springs, but in places we didn't have a draw yet. People were paying us $350, but then it went down to $250, then it went down to $150. Then it's like, you got to sell these tickets, and it's so crazy to me because I believe it happened from the oversaturation with technology creating so many artists, and then less people started buying tickets. So like, because what I saw firsthand, and when I throw concerts, and this is what messes me up, you guys are an anomaly because a lot of times the dopest artists, let's just keep it real in Colorado Springs. I remember I do shows at Union Station. 5 people show up because the dopest artists wouldn't hustle. They didn't have the hustle or drive to get people there. But then some of the wackest artists were like,
got
my God,
everybody in there.
100 people.
Everybody in
They're
there.
like, I sold 100 tickets. And they're just like on some hustle, like, let's
Seen
get
that
it.
shit.
So
Been there.
you guys have that great balance where you're talented, but at the same time you hustle. But it's still like it's I'm still over here at my age. I'm a prime example of someone who so I'm pivoting to YouTube. Now, every now and then I headline, people come out and it's cool, but I'm still like, if I could headline in every city and do 150 people, I'd go out and get my bread.
Yeah,
but the
yeah,
reality is
Yeah.
like cultivating that is such a thing. And then as a dad, so you guys are already kind of structured. You're like, yo, my wife is going to come out with me. But as a pops, like with my situation, I don't know if they'd be able to come out with me because the road is so tedious. You'd
tough.
have to make a certain amount. And that's why I don't tour anymore either. Like that kind of slowed down, back in the, I'm not going to get, this is interviews about you guys,
Nah,
but
you good.
that's just some things that I thought it was cool. You guys were bringing that up. And then this is like game for the people watching it.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
We all learn as we go. And I want to be like, I know in this market, I'm an example. Like some people look up to me as a rapper and then some people more of an entrepreneur. But what I'm going to tell people right here and now is, it's like a sport. Don't ever forget the pivot because you guys saw me. I was very hostile, very angry, and struggling during 2020 because of the things that were presented. But I utilized my mind to navigate through it. We ended up pulling off some epic events during that time. But what happened was this YouTube thing. So all you got to think, I've been on YouTube 3 years straight, and now it's starting to pop.
Right.
And
Yeah.
now I'm actually making an income from YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, we definitely, and that's the thing too. Like the pivot is real. I get what you're saying for real. Yeah, definitely. And that's like I don't think we're putting all our eggs in one basket in the name of music. Because as soon as we get that into that next couple steps, that's definitely where
and I'm not telling you guys to pivot. I'm just putting it out there. The other thing is just being flexible because
being realistic.
you guys, there's many things you guys could do. Like, no Cuomo, you guys could be some type of hip hop models, especially in this age where, there's
My wife would say that shit. She's like, y'all are handsome.
so there's so many things you guys could branch out with merch. You guys, your music could be soundtrack. Like there's just so many things. So I just applaud you guys for doing what you're doing and just try to stick with it because even though I'm going to just keep it real, I'm not at the destination where I want to be yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm still working towards it, and I hope other people see that. And I watch that in you guys. I'm like, well, just keep going because the road ain't easy. Here I am, but like things do get easier, and I'm proof of that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Hell
No,
yeah.
you definitely, goes without saying, you a big inspiration of what we got going on. We wouldn't be.
I remember
Even that's
hearing
half
your
of
name
who we
float
were.
around when Synocious and shit was floating around
yeah,
when I was a
yeah,
kid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
just Jeff Walker, right?
Yeah,
I know
that's
you
my
do.
boy,
That's your
yes.
boy. So I first heard of you. His sister Karen, one of her sons, Tyree, is my boy. We grew up together and shit. And I remember them being like, "Yeah, we know him. He's from here." Like, and it was a Black Pegasus album.
Yeah.
It's a white background, and you're on the cover in some colorful shit, like a red or blue. I don't fucking know. Yeah. But like I remember that and being like, "Damn, like they know a fucking rapper out here."
Right, like, legit.
It was a trip, and then another CD came out, and they were like,
Jeff's brother was one of my best friends growing up, Matt.
"Oh, okay."
So that's how we're all tied
there. You
in,
go.
so-
So yeah, and then so I'm riding around in Karen's whip, and she's fucking banging your shit, you know what I mean? So it was super dope. Like, and I wasn't even like really a rapper then, but it was just tight to know that somebody from the city was making CDs, and your shit was in independent and all that. So it's definitely
really pushing. Like,
it goes without saying. Like, we definitely appreciate everything you've done. You got put us on your platform always,
Literally.
and always look out for the gang. So it's definitely a mutual love there for sure. For sure.
It's crazy you say that because you never know what the work you do, where it transcends.
Where
And
it
like I'm
reaches.
saying, and that goes for you guys too, because you guys inspire me. I see that young energy, and sometimes I need that because I get a little, not lazy, but bitter. The industry has made me bitter, and I've had to pivot and do a bunch of different things. But I'm excited for you guys, and I hope you guys keep on pushing. I'm going to try to get you guys a big joint in summer. There's a lot of politics, man, in this stuff, bro. You guys, I didn't even talk to you about last night. Like, that's why you guys didn't really see me. But I will talk off camera.
Yeah,
about it,
facts.
so.
Let's hit this beat and we'll
Let's get it, man. Y'all ready to do this?
Yeah.
If you guys are enjoying this, you're rocking with Vetlyfe. That's VETLYFE on all digital platforms.
that's right.
And I'm gonna let them rap their way out of this one. Y'all ready?
I think
y'all
it's
remember
the-
this beat?
I think it's the Vinny Paz one.
Oh yeah, this is this one.
Is it this one? Yeah. Is mine gone?
I'm gonna bring it back. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay. Yeah.
sir. I take up.
I take a sipping in my mind gone. It's hard to get the picture like an icon if you don't get the shit that I'm on. See, my commitment to music is gonna be lifelong. Peace of mind has no price, I'll be striking like a python. Pin a pad and I'll be striking like some lightning. Use my mic as my trident, causing waves like Poseidon. I'm checking niggas like Nike, I'm going in. Driven off adrenaline and I ain't been able to stop it since I started as a kid. Got better then my hunger grew bigger while blowing trees and trying to moderate the liquor. Cut the beat up like some scissors. Never stop cause I be itching to do it. Highly influenced by this music and the best to ever do it. I got no chill in me. Savage raps coming back to back, snacking like some Cracker Jacks. The beat is guaranteed to slap. Vetlyfe I'm repping, got it tatted on my right arm. Working for my success while I'm finding these beats to slide on. See no excuses not to do it, eat the beat up. Keep a few in rotation every single time we meet up. We far out of your range, it ain't no way that you can reach us. No sense in playing sensei, it ain't shit that you can teach us. Nah, I'm giving praise to these beats and giving praise to Jesus. Vetlyfe on that ass, you think we trash? Well go ahead and speak up. The meanest duo flipping shit like judo. We kick you in your culo, still you can't figure out how we do it.
I
though.
take a hit and in my mind gone. Rolling up another one cause it's nothing when you puffing the stuff that I'm on. Light it then I fly on. I've been floating for a minute but I had to hit the ground to get my grind on. We on some shit that they could never be on. Fuck it, them niggas peons thinking they won't get peed on. They raps ain't strong, they need somebody to lean on. They think they ice cold, I'm coming through with the heat on. That's hot shit, but that mandatory when I'm around. Look around the room when I walk in, they know it's going down. The golden child, forever rolling up and blowing loud. Fuck around with Sandy's only son, you know it's going down. The Big Vetty, I'm known to flow steady. I feel like Joe Pesci, I'm cold so don't test me. I'm a wild card, boy, I'll trip if you'll let me. I've been like so ready, the pen is so hefty. I'm trying to rep something, Dizzle come spot me. I'm hotter than some lava flowing in the fresh pot of coffee. Quite possibly the hottest out, I'm making moves while you watch me. Knock me if you wanna, but I guarantee it won't stop me, it's Vo. Yeah.
Hey.
City boy, city boy.
Hey, yo, shout out to Vetlyfe, yo, doing
gang.
it, man.
Much love, much
Shout
love,
out
much
to you
love.
too, man.
That was dope. You guys, tap in with us. Don't forget to hit that like button.
You already know.
If you enjoyed this, leave a comment with questions, whatever you're thinking.
Yeah.
You guys need to plug anything before we get on out of here? What's up?
Shit, once again, man, just VETLYFE. Shout out to the city, man. Shout out to the Box State. And happy birthday to my baby.
Yeah, we good, man. Check us out. Shout out, to you and the whole shit you got built for us, man. We appreciate it, dog, for real. Thanks for having us.
It's all love, man. Thank you for being a part of it. And, yo, we're about to ride off into the sunset, you guys. If you enjoyed this, make sure you hit it with a like, a comment, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel so we can keep moving on up.
Yeah.
Again, I bring you guys interviews, podcasts, reactions, and we're going to start bringing some sketches to the channel. So just be on the lookout.
Oh, shit, that's dope. Hey, and do something cool when you get that YouTube plaque. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Like, fucking do something tight with that shit because it's going to look perfect back, like, in this area here. That shit's going to be fucking
The first
dope, bro.
one?
Yeah, the first plaque. And then
Yeah.
the second, you know what I'm saying?
So keep sending them.
Do your thing, bro.
100K first, a milli next.
Let's get it.
A milli.
40.
All right, you guys, 40.
Thank you for being some man. 40 years down the road, back again. FUQ boy.